Whether you're new to the Sound Shore or have called it home for years, Sound Shore Family Guide is here for you. We bring you insider tips on schools, sports, local happenings, and parenting in our amazing community. Let's navigate family life in Larchmont and Mamaroneck together.
We have Jessica Huffman telling us a little bit about her family, and a lot of goodness for the Sound Shore Family Guide. Thank you so much, Jessica, for being here.
Thanks for having me, Alka.
Jessica, where did you live before you moved here?
My husband and I lived on the Upper West Side for 10 years, and then we moved to Larchmont. We chose Larchmont because he grew up here, so it was kind of an easy choice for us.
Mm-hmm. That is, right?
Yeah.
It's like slipped right in.
Yes, easy train commute, all the things that, this area is known for. We would have probably picked it even if we didn't have the family connections here.
Yeah, true. And do you work?
I just started my own business. It's called Travel Like Jess. It is a family travel resource guide, really. It's a website. It's focused on the Northeast and just kind of places that we want to travel. So I really focus it on families that live in this area and where we like to go. So, up to Maine or Nantucket or Stowe or all these kind of big destinations. And I'm really focusing on what to do on your way there. Not only what to do in those locations, but what are the cool things to stop and see along the route.
That is so fun. Make the trip enjoyable.
Yes.
Along the way.
And easy. And you don't have to do all the researching. And family travel takes so long.
That's so true.
I'm really trying to narrow that down for everyone.
That's amazing. And all different price points?
All different price points.
Amazing.
All, ages, from 2 till 12 really is kind of the target.
Right.
Demo.
Well, since your kids are about that age.
That's
too.
because my kids, yeah.
Speaking of your children, tell us a little bit about them, like where do they go to the nursery school and what kind of activities are they involved in?
So I have a 2nd grade daughter and a 5th grade son. So my son, when it was time for him to go to nursery school, we were new to the area. He was my first child. I didn't really know very much. People were freaking me out because everyone had things booked and I didn't. I didn't even know where he should go. So we ended up going to a nursery school in Scarsdale. It wasn't very convenient, but that was all I kind of came up with at the time. Mm-hmm. By the time my daughter came around, we knew a little bit more, but then COVID hit, so she was home with us, and then we decided to send her to St. John and Paul. Mm-hmm. It was nice, it was local, it was full day at the time, so it was a good preschool choice for her.
Wonderful. And what kind of activities are they involved in?
They are kind of all across the board. We're not a big sports family. We tend to kind of lean more towards music. Mm-hmm. So they really are involved in School of Rock. Mm-hmm. My son's done it for years. My daughter now does it. We love the performance band aspect of it. Mm-hmm. It's just a really cool, different way to expose kids to music. Mm-hmm. And they also do Cosmo Martial Arts Center right here on the Avenue. We've done it for years. We did it pre-COVID. We continued to do it during COVID and virtual. It's a really great group of people that work there. Mm-hmm. My kids love it.
Mm-hmm. Going back to School of Rock, is it something that you have to be a part of a band? Do you just do it individually? What is it about that you like so much?
So we really like kind of the mix of everything. So they start them in Rock 101 at 8. So I think they do lessons before, but 8 is really their main program. So you can go into it with no music experience at all, and it's a combination of taking a lesson and then having your band rehearsal each week. So they kind of get better. And the first starter group, they really barely know how to play music. But by the time it's the first show, they have a band going. It's pretty cute to see.
That's so fun. And where do they normally perform?
So they do 2 shows a year, a winter show and a spring show. Typically, the winter show is at Garcia's in Port Chester, and then the spring show kind of moves around. One time it was at the Yacht Club. It's been at locals. Depending on
local.
Yeah, somewhere local.
Mm-hmm. And the CMA, right? That's
CMAC, the Cosmo Martial Arts Center. They're right here on the Avenue, kind of towards the Mamaroneck train station. It's just a really great facility. There are a lot of martial arts studios in the area. Mm-hmm. Everyone loves their own. Mm-hmm. We happen to love this one.
Mm-hmm. And what makes this one so special?
I think the group of teachers there have really been great for my kids. They're just kind of stern enough that no one's fooling around, but silly enough that everyone's having fun still, and no complaints each week when they go.
I mean, that says a lot when your kids want to keep on going back, and it's not just playing.
Yeah, I don't have the energy to fight them on these things. So,
Exactly. There's the energy for that.
Please help to go. Yeah.
And what kind of sports did they play for the town?
So we love all the town rec sports. They do. My daughter's in softball this season. They both love the soccer programs. The flag football is my son's favorite thing. He does it spring and fall now. It's just a really nice way to spend time with other kids in the community. I love that they see kids that go to all the other schools. So someday when they all mix together in middle school and high school, they already have a good base of friends that go to the other schools.
Jessica, thank you so much for sharing all this wonderful information about you and your family. For those of you who are listening and watching, we have so much more to share with you. So make sure that you stick around and listen to our schools and organizations. And then, and only here, you're going to hear from Jessica Huffman again, a local mom that's going to share a family tip. Hi, Vanessa Ritter. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome here at LMC Media and for our Sound Shore Family Guide.
Great.
Vanessa and her husband own the School of Rock, which is here on Mamaroneck Avenue. And Vanessa, tell me a little bit about School of Rock.
Yes. School of Rock was a concept that really just blew my mind when my husband and I, about 12, 13 years ago, went to a concert and we heard School of Rock students opening for our favorite band, Yes. And we thought, how do kids play this music? It's amazing. We looked into it and we found that there was such a thing. And it actually came into place before the movie. A lot of people think the movie was with the catalyst for School of Rocks, but actually the movie came after. So the concept was really unique for kids to play music. And now today, 25 years ago, the music was rock and roll, classic rock and roll. And now these kids get to learn this music, which isn't as popular today necessarily. So School of Rock, what really makes it stand out is it really became something that I thought, my husband and I were like, I wish I had this when I was a kid. I took classical music lessons. I'm a singer. I played piano. But I didn't stick with it because it wasn't fun. And what I really liked about their methodology is that they really look at the play-based part of learning. And so our big philosophy is the stage is the greatest teacher. We put on shows to teach music. We don't teach music to put on shows. So it really is a unique approach to learning music. We try to make it as fun as possible right out of the gates. We want the kids to be like, I need to go there every week. I love it. The best compliment we get is when parents say, kid's grounded this week. We told him he can't go to School of Rock. So that's a real amazing accomplishment for us. We've been in the village now for 10 years. We love it here.
Amazing.
The community's been awesome. I'm on the board of the Chamber of Commerce. We get involved and our kids perform throughout the community for different events, which has been really nice.
So it sounds amazing. What age children do you kind of target?
So we originally started really only with middle school to teens, but we've now grown as a company where we put a lot of research into the academics of teaching music for younger generations and even kids who have some learning disabilities. We have a lot of resources now for different programs for different age groups and neurodiverse kids. So we start now as early as 4 years old. That is our Little Wing program. Rookies is our 5 to 6-year-old program, which is about preschool, almost kindergarten. And then Rock 101 is when the kids actually become part of a band where they take a private lesson and then they get together as a group and they learn like a catalog of music that will teach them the fundamentals of their instrument. And some of them will choose one instrument, some of them will choose to play 4. And they, after 3 to 4 months, have a show. And then they move on to the next level.
You teach the instrument here, so they can take, what instruments do you teach here?
The main instruments that we teach are like the rock and roll staples. So it's obviously vocals, guitars, which includes bass guitar, and then also keyboards and drums. So those are kind of the staples of what we teach. But sometimes we have violinists, fiddlers, and horn section for different, because those exist in rock and roll as well.
Sure do.
So, but going back to the age groups, then our 8 and up groups are the performance program. So you graduate from Rock 101 once you've mastered certain elements of that instrument. A lot of it is like, just for example, vocalists, they can memorize lyrics. A drummer can get through the whole song without stopping. And that will get them into the performance program. And then the performance program, we pick kids out to audition for our house band. And our house band is the top 1% of our student population.
And what's the house band like?
So the house band is awesome because they get to perform throughout the community. They perform more often, and they have much more challenging music that they learn together as a group. So it's an additional rehearsal every week. So it's a great thing for all the students in our school to aspire to. It's kind of like being in the honor club or honor roll. And then, they also are big advocates in our school. They're mentors to the younger students. They work the Rock 101s. They work with the Little Wing kids and rookies. So they're really great examples of how a good musician can be as an advocate in the community as well, because we play at different events all over. And one of the bonuses of being in the house band is we take these kids on tour every summer.
Like what kind of a tour?
Well, just recently, over the past, this will be our 3rd year, we do international tours.
Wow.
So we take them on a extravaganza, I like to say, where they will play different venues through unique countries. So the first year we went to London, first School of Rock ever to play there.
Amazing.
We went to Galway and to Dublin, Ireland. Last summer we went to Barcelona, Spain, and Madrid as well, and then Lisbon, Portugal. So it was awesome because the families came with us. They made it a family experience. We filled these really cool venues that they otherwise would never have seen or played in. And it was such a cool way to see the world.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And this summer, I'm sorry, where are you going?
Chile, Santiago, Chile.
That's so neat.
Yes, I'm very excited about that.
And the whole families go.
And we're brushing up on our Spanish.
Muy bien.
Yes, muy bien. Un poquito, no español. No habla en español.
Tienes que practicar.
No. I'm working on it. But yes, so the families do come. We require the chaperones come just because it's more safe for the kids. God forbid they get sick in a hotel room or something like that, that they have someone dedicated to take care of them. But they love it. They absolutely love it. And some of them bring the entire family and friends.
That sounds so fun.
Yeah, so
and
we're
these
very
are
excited.
Usually after school, you're open whenever there's a day off from school, weekends, holidays, camps.
Yes.
All the above?
So we offer after-school programs Monday through Friday, and then we also have, and they go till 8 o'clock at night, and then we also have all day on the weekends. And then we have summer camps as well. So we'll do Monday through Friday, 9 to 3 day camps. And then we also offer smaller camps, maybe 3-day, 4-day camps for the younger kids. We also have adult programs. So you can be an adult and also rock out.
Nice.
And a lot of our parents actually participate because they're like, why is my kid having all the fun? I've always wanted to play guitar. I've always wanted to sing in a band. And they go ahead and do that. And to believe it or not, after 10 years of being in the community, we've had about 5 or 6 like professional bands in the Sound Shore area that are now playing out, getting paid, doing awesome. So it's really exciting for us to know that they started with us.
That is. Kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
And so if people want to get in touch with you, how do they do that? What's your website?
So our website's pretty simple, although everyone messes up saying Mamaroneck, but it is spelling Mamaroneck, mamaroneck.schoolofrock.com. Okay. And that is our website. Everything's on there, how to contact us. You can also email us at mamaroneck@schoolofrock.com. And I can give you our phone number, too. It's 914-777-1500.
Thank you, Vanessa. I'm sure if they can find you, they will.
Thank you.
But rock out. I love it. Congrats to you. 10 years is amazing.
Yes.
And thank you for doing all that you do.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Of
This is a great show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
Cloud, thank you so much for being here today at the LMC Media Studio on the Ave for our Sound Shore Family Guide.
My pleasure.
Cloud
Thanks for having me.
I know it's a very long intro. Cloud is here from the Larchmont Music Academy here in Larchmont. So thank you so much. I mean, you've been around for a very long time. My daughter went through your school.
Yeah.
And so tell us about it. How long have you been around? What do you specialize in?
Yeah, my husband and I opened the school in 1998. I grew up in Larchmont. I moved here when I was 10, and it was something I thought the area really needed. So I was really excited to come back from college, and when I met my husband at the old age of 24, I opened Larchmont Music Academy. So we've been around now for 27 years.
Wow.
And we're thank you.
Yeah, congrats.
We're very excited. We have a fun phenomenon happening right now where we have kids who went through all of Larchmont Music Academy, went off and got their degrees and came back and are teaching for us. And then we also have kids who went through the LMA program and then graduated and then went to college, got married, had their children, moved back to Larchmont, and now their kids are taking lessons.
Isn't that amazing how that happens?
I just
then
can't.
you know you've been around for a while.
That's how those start to make you feel a little older. But
so who do you like? What kind of? How old are the children that come through you? What do you specialize in? What music?
So we have different
instruments?
programs. So for the little guys, we have music for little ones, and they learn all about all the different instruments, and they get to touch and feel violins and trumpets and saxophones, and they learn about beat and rhythm. I wrote 2 children's books to go with the classes. That are about Presto Lento Bear and Pianoforte Bear. So they're about basic music concepts, but with these bears to help them. So we have classes for kids starting at 3 months old and going all the way on up to 4 or 5 once they're in school. Then we have our intro classes, which are fabulous places for kids to start to learn the intro to the instruments. They get to do a month of violin, a month of piano, a month of drums, and see what their interest is and get exposed to all of them before they then choose what instrument they want to take privately. And then we have private lessons going all the way up for kids of all ages and also adults. We have an amazing adult program and a Sing for Joy choir where anyone can come join Sing for Joy. It's just about singing and having a great time. And it doesn't matter if you can sing or can't sing, just sing your heart out. We all need music right now.
I think that we focus a lot on children because obviously they are our number one priority. Yeah. But at the same time, how wonderful is that you've actually incorporated adults?
Yeah.
Men and women?
Yes.
And theys? And anybody who wants to participate?
Exactly.
That's so neat.
Yeah. And so we have a good balance of students from little ones all the way on up
all the way
through
up.
80-year-olds. So.
And you also do voice lessons?
Yes.
And every instrument under the sun?
We have every instrument under the sun. So from ukulele to voice to trumpet to flute, which is my personal favorite. Not gonna lie.
Is that what you...
That is what I play, yeah. And we just had our big Carnegie Hall concert. We do that every year. One year, then odd years it's for students, even years it's for faculty. So and alumni. So a lot of our alumni come back. But I was very excited. Our flute choir this year had 28 kids playing the flute, and then we had a lot of kids come back from college and join us for that as well. So it was alumni all the way through. The littlest one was in 5th grade. So it was a really
And
fun.
You do that every year?
Every year.
And when does that happen?
It's the first or second weekend in March on Saturday night.
Oh, so you really just literally...
We literally just did it.
Oh, congrats. That's so exciting.
Thank you. The pictures are all out on our Facebook page and Instagram. So,
and what is your Facebook page, Instagram handle?
It's Larchmont Music Academy for Facebook, and for Instagram, it's also Larchmont Music Academy.
Mm-hmm. And if they want to get in touch with you because they want to find out more,
just larchmontmusicacademy.com. Shoot me an email, and we're there.
Okay, well, you heard it here. So, Cloud, an expert in the community. Not only do you own a business here, but you also grew up here.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you're a wealth of knowledge in addition to your beautiful music academy. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
I'm sure you will. Thank you. Lesley Joyce from Groove. It is so nice to see you.
Welcome. It's nice to be seen.
Yeah, welcome to LMC Media. And it's been a long time. My daughter is 19 and my son is almost 18. And I remember back in the day seeing you and singing with you.
Yes.
So congrats.
We call them Groove grads.
We are Groove grads. So congratulations to you for still being in business and being in Larchmont, and you're celebrating
20 years on April 1st.
Amazing. Yeah. So congratulations. That's beautiful.
It's gone really fast.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, my kids are big now. It goes fast. So tell me a little bit about you and like your history and what brought you to where you are today, or 20 years ago when you started Groove.
Sure. So my family moved from Brooklyn. I know that's a very familiar story to many.
It is. Welcome, Brooklynites.
Yes, welcome, Brooklynites, in 2003. And at that time, I was a full-time stay-at-home mom and had discovered, thankfully, the music classes that were available for families. Mm-hmm. And it was really not something I knew about prior. I was a professional fundraiser. I worked in the arts many days and nights and, never slept. And then suddenly I was home with my lovely son who's 28 now. And I really had to figure out what to do with my days. And so I stumbled on this music class, and he was about 4 months old. And it just sort of blew my mind because I didn't really know that kind of thing existed. And time went on, and I thought, wow, I have a degree in music. I love to sing. I spent most of my days singing, dancing, singing. And I thought, I could do that. I think I could do that. So I did some trainings, and then I was hired by a friend in Brooklyn who ran a space called Art Cetera on Smith Street when nothing else was on Smith Street. And she's really what inspired me when I moved to this community to say, okay, where are the music classes? And a lot of New Yorkers were moving, a lot of people from the city were moving to Westchester at that time. And I kept asking them, well, what was your favorite music class in the city? And I asked the people who were, longtime Larchmonters, what's your favorite music class here? And I wasn't getting a lot of response, but the people who came from the city said, oh, I loved this program I took in the city. And that happened to be the program I was teaching in Brooklyn a couple of days a week. And I said, well, if I started that class here, would you come? And it really started with my daughter's preschool class at Larchmont Temple in the 3s. And really, it grew organically from there. I thought, oh, I'll rent a space a couple of days a week. And then it just grew and grew. Probably because what drives me has always been music. I grew up in a musical family. I was telling you, my dad is 91 years old and still sings in a chorus. My daughter joined a chorus when she moved to New York City. She sang a cappella all through college. My son builds guitars for a living. He toured with a band. My mom she's a very good audience member. Let's just say, which we need. She's not the most musical person, but I was raised in a musical family. She appreciated it. She'd get a little nervous at times, but watching us, my sister and I in the school musical or whatever, but just because it wasn't something she could picture herself doing. It wasn't something that was encouraged when she was growing up, but I had the opposite experience. It was always encouraged. I played in an orchestra as a kid, and I just knew that when I had kids, that music would be such a huge part of our lives. And I wanted to offer that experience to everyone because not everybody, like my mom, was raised in a musical family. And there's such joy in even just like listening to music with your kids, singing to your kids, singing with your kids, being in a band with your kids, which I've experienced all of these things over the years, and it's just completely joyful.
It is. And so you started Groove.
So Groove came to be. I started in a storefront on Larchmont Avenue, and then moved to a storefront on Chatsworth Avenue. Then I'm now again back on Larchmont Avenue across the street from the original. I moved into my space now in September of 2019.
So let me ask you, Groove,
Sure.
what you're targeting, like what age groups?
Most of the kids who come to Groove are between 0 and 6. That's really our sweet, sweet spot there. And people say, why would I bring a 3-month-old child to music class? Well, first of all, guess where you get to meet all the other parents who are challenged with the same challenges that you have as a new parent.
Right.
But also, again, like music is so universal. There's no expectation at that age. It's more just exposing them to different sounds, different tempos, different volumes, which is, volume is loud or soft, tempo is fast or slow. Kids pick up on these things in their bodies. You'll see them starting to bop.
Definitely.
You'll see a little tongue sticking out. I like to say they're figuring out where the music is coming from, And then, so originally it was like 0 to 3, but then as my kids needed more support, like when they were 5, 6, or 7, and I couldn't find programming, I teamed up with a music school in Brooklyn, and I brought in a program for 4 to 8-year-olds. And that started about 6 years ago, just prior to the pandemic. And it's still running, thank goodness.
So you go up
everybody
to 8.
needs it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a program called Music Explorers, which is the kids start at age 4. They go up to 8. It is different than any other music program that you've taken in that I'm not handing a kid an instrument and saying, let's learn how to play this. I'm handing a kid resources, musical fluencies, what is rhythm, what is harmony, what is melody, putting it into terms that they understand, but also it's game-based. So we'll play games. Harmony, for instance, major is sort of a happy feeling, right? Minor is sad. Kids can relate. What are things that make you happy? What are things that make you sad? If the tonality, the harmony is going to be a major, it's a happy song. Let's write a happy song. We write a lot of songs together, which is not something I thought that I could do as a grown-up, much less help 4 to 8-year-olds do. But kids,
at that level, they're exploring themselves or figuring it out, and they're making that progress. And you're seeing it happening before your eyes.
Right. My favorite thing to do is, a 5-year-old will burst in the door and start telling me about how they spent the weekend with grandma and they went on a sled and they had hot chocolate. And I say, stop right there. I'm going to write that down. That's a song. And then we'll write a song about their experience at grandma's going down the sled. And, it might be fast when we're going down the sled. It might be slow when we're drinking the hot chocolate. Their kids are innately musical. And so I just kind of pull it out of them.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. That's really interesting and innovative.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. And the younger children is?
The younger children are group classes with grown-ups. And I like to think of it as the best 45 minutes of your week. As a parent or a caregiver, you can really have a musical, I call them musical moments. You make musical moments with your kid. Even if it's just sitting and listening, there's no expectation. Grown-ups say, oh, I can't sing or I can't play. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Your kid wants to hear your voice. Your kid wants to look at you. And if you're jumping up and down, they sure are going to start jumping up and down. And then once the kids start really sort of moving around the room, there's something called groove jams, which is, from you never know when your kid's going to start moving around the room, but it's up to age 3. So it's mostly 1s and 2s. And then there seemed to be a need for a very much more mobile class for 2s and 3s. So that's called groovers.
That's really wonderful. So if people want to actually find you, and it sounds like you have a lot of programs for different age groups.
Yes.
So how do they find you?
Well, that's so interesting. You should ask like that, Elka, because our website is findgroove.com.
Okay, good.
Findgroove.com. We're also right across the street from the Chatsworth Elementary School. It's a very busy, active corner. So if you happen to be, grabbing dinner on Larchmont Avenue or whatever, just pass by the studio. We have lots of information in the windows. Our window, we have a corner. It's sort of like a fishbowl. You could even poke your head in and see what's going on. We also host birthday parties. We have a infant child CPR class that we offer every other month. I like to think of us as a gathering space as well as just a music space.
Thank you so much for coming, Lesley. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
It was an absolute pleasure seeing you again. It's been so long. And keep grooving.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too.
Thanks. Jess, thank you so much for being here. Welcome back.
Thank you.
What would be a tip that you would like to share with us for people who don't live in the community or even people that do that just arrived?
I think one of the important things that I heard from a lot of my friends when they first moved to Larchmont was that they joined the Larchmont Newcomers Club, and that really connected them in the community. When you move here, especially from the city or from other suburbs or wherever you move here from, you need kind of that basis. So when a lot of people, when they join the Larchmont Newcomers Club, they don't know what happens in the community. So this is a really good kind of group in a way to find your friends, find people that are on the same nap schedules if you're a new parent, and just kind of lead you in the community and let you know what to expect or what's going on. We also really love all the programs that the town of Mamaroneck puts on in the summer. So I would say go to as many events as you can. Go to the summer movies. Go to the summer concerts. They're so fun.
They're so fun.
And the kids love it. They play with all the other kids. You're going to meet more people. I think there are a ton of events that you could go to.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. So just take advantage of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Jessica, thank you so much for being here. It was an absolute pleasure having you. And for those of you who are out there watching and listening, make sure that you stay tuned and come back for another episode, as there is so much goodness that we will be sharing with you in the upcoming weeks about schools, places to go, things to do, things happening here in the community. And it's all happening here at the Sound Shore Family Guide at LMC Media.
Visit lmcmedia.org/family guide to get more information and find other episodes. LMC Media is a nonprofit media center. Follow us on socials at LMC Media Center and subscribe to our YouTube channel at LMC Media Productions to see more content.